Hi, Kat here from Lightwave Digital. In a previous video, we talked about creating polygons from points and turning those into a star field. Here's a really interesting variant on that, and we can go and use a couple of different tools, but we're still going to take advantage of jitter, which we did in the last video. There's a function here which you may have seen me skip over under the Create tab called Spray Points. Spray Points, given a numeric rate of spray and a radius, will allow you to spray 1-point polygons anywhere in 3D space. Now, there is a drawback to this, and it's just essentially that the size and the spray rate, generally, even if you're working with a sphere, it comes out kind of boxy, because you're going to be only spraying in one of those viewports. So it feels a little bit, squarish. Using jitter, though, we can help fix that problem. So we'll just spray some more points here. All right, let's go and hit Modify. And we'll go down to Jitter. And we'll give ourselves a little bit of Gaussian jitter just to spread them out, maybe a little bit more. Let's go 15, 5, 15. All right, let's drop that. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to go and add another variation to this. I'm just going to squash these down. Because these points have no height, no depth, no width, you can squash them arbitrarily like this and it won't impact anything. So this is kind of cool. It still looks a little squarish, but I'm going to use another function here called twist. And twist is, as it suggests, you can actually twist geometry around its axis or any other direction you choose. So you can start doing cool things like swirls, maybe little black holes, whatever it might be. Or in this case, we'll go for a galaxy. Let's go and reset ourselves here. All right. And I'm going to just go from one end to the other. And I'm going to swirl things around a little bit. And I've got now some galaxy arms. Maybe we'll redraw the twist again. Just using right mouse button and go to the center. Start twisting. And then one more time right across the center, just to add that much more variation to it. And now you can start to create a spiral galaxy, similar to the Milky Way or possibly Andromeda galaxy, whatever it might be. And because these are already points that are effectively 1-point polygons, this can be immediately brought over to Lightwave Layout and shaded. So let's save this. Put it on my proper drive. Give it a name. And granted, this is only about 100 meters wide, or maybe our X position, if you watch our indicators down here, this is, well, it's 600 meters by 600 meters, whatever it might be. But now I can literally send this over. Let's do one thing here. Because these are already points that are 1-point polygons, I can surface these, so we'll just call them stars. Okay, and resave it. You can hit S or Control S if you want to change the name. And then we can send this over to Lightwave Layout. And take a look at this at VPR. Let's turn off the environment light because we don't want to see that right now. And there we have a little galaxy. So from here, what you can do is you can add HyperVoxels to this object. So let's go to Appearance. And we're going to go and drag HyperVoxels in here. Okay. Now there's no interface for this, so when you click on it, you're not going to get anything. You need to go over to two different areas to get this to work. Because hypervoxels are a legacy volumetric effect, we're going to go to the render tab, render properties, or hit Control P, bring the tab into the window here, and we're going to go and enable legacy volumetrics. And I am going to go into the scene tab, go to image processing, bring up the legacy volumetrics tab, and we're going to add hypervoxels. Okay, so we've got the item in there because we've already tagged it in its appearance under custom objects, so it's going to be able to be activated. So we're going to hit activate, and now what we can do is we can put some sprites on here and increase their size, giving them some cloud appearance. Let's go like 30 meters, and give them some texture. And let's change their shading a little bit. Let's use a nice gradient, and we'll go distance to object. So distance to object should be itself, and we'll start with, say, a nice deep purple, maybe something of that nature. And somewhere out here, let's go 150 meters. Let's change its color so that's kind of like a bluish or something of that nature. So we can start to see what that gradient will do for us. You can pull this out. Let's go 600 meters. There we go. Very cool stuff. Of course, we have to be careful with our hypervoxel. Just make sure that it's not doing anything weird under certain lighting conditions. We can turn the lights off for it and just use its own luminosity. And of course, if we want to dial this opacity back, we can go like 25. And there you have it. Throw a couple lens flares in there for larger stars, center of the galaxy, and there you have basically something that can be used as a render that you can put onto a card. You can create your own big galaxy. You can fly right through this if you want to. And it has some depth to it. So if you fire in a light in the background there, right in the center for center core, you can very easily do that. And don't forget that these hypertextures can also affect the look of that. So let's go 30 meters, 35 meters, 35 meters. And we'll try a different hypertexture. There we go. And we can add some more slices to give it some more density. And the options from here are pretty interesting what you want to do. Size variation, let's go 50%. And that stretch direction, we can go Y, give it a little bit more thickness. Depends on what you want to do. But this is a very, very straightforward and easy way to achieve something like this, just using a couple of tools in Modeler and then popping it over into Layout. And of course, this is all completely flexible, and it'll render pretty quick. So thank you for watching.